Today I'm combining two things. I'm going to draw a leaf with water droplets on it and a ladybug crawling on it, I think. We're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to start by kind of outlining my leaf, and I'm using this rectangle that I've taped off. And how much do I want to fill? I think I'm going to I'm just going to kind of rough in a shape, right? Because the leaf is kind of that way shaped. And then it's got like that center line. And then I can kind of branch off from there. It really should be more like that. Okay, so I've just mapped in the shape of the leaf, that's all. And I'm not going to put a lot of detail in the sketching. The sketching part is just to block out the water droplets and the ladybug that I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with the ladybug. I'm going to have to turn this a bit so I can see what I'm doing. Where do we want to put her? We're going to put our little girl maybe here, like here. And do we want her crawling up or crawling down? I'm going to put her crawling up. Or should I put her crawling down? Let's put her crawling down. Okay, so I got to turn this around. Get my pencils out of the way. Okay, we're going to put her here. So she's little body, little fat body, just like me, little fat body. And then she has her doodad here sticking out. And then in that, there is her, like her head. There we go. Then we got the little antennas. And then we got the kind of white part. And then the white part over here. And then split her wings down the back. Just slightly. Like she's about to open her wings. So we're going to have a dark spot here. We're going to have one here and one here, and then one over here, and a half one over here, a little one over here, and one over here. They don't have to be perfect. And then her little legs are going to come out. One's more like an arm, so we got this guy and the big guy and the little guy, and the big guy and the little guy. Look at that. It's starting to look like a ladybug. I think her body might be a bit too small. We might need to make her bigger. We're going to make her bigger. I think we should. Yeah, she's a bit too tiny. She's a bit too petite. We got to fatten her up. She's like a toddler. We got to make her at least a teenager. Okay, we're going to make you a little bigger there, sunshine. Woohoo! Okay, now we're talking. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so we got our big dot in the middle. It's kind of off, but it's all right. We'll figure it out. One here, one here, one here, one here. They're too close. No. Let's see. I'm leaving all this in so that you can see how kind of painful it can be to try and sketch out this kind of stuff, because it's not always the easiest thing to do. Oh, that's okay. Okay, we'll do that. We'll leave that. So we got her arms done. Now we got to do her legs. So we're going to take a little one here, big one down here, and a little foot out there. And then across the way, a little one with a big one down here and a foot out there. And one more. Got a little one here, big one down there, and a little foot. Do you like the way I'm describing this ladybug? Little one here, big one there. They go out. Yeah, that's good enough. Oh my goodness. She actually almost looks like a ladybug. So there's our little ladybug. She's crawling down the leaf. Okay, so that's her sketched in. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you something. I haven't done this yet, so we're going to play. We're going to play with my kneaded eraser. Now, if you don't know what a kneaded eraser is, it's an eraser, okay? Like this dude, just a regular old eraser. Except they're these gray color. I don't know if I've ever seen them in any other colors. But anyway, they're gray and don't want to come out of the bag I put it in. And it's like pliable, right? And you can knead it. That's why it's called a kneaded eraser, right? And you can like make it to a point. So if you had to erase something like really fine, you could just go in and erase like that. But what I've seen some people do, I'm just going to rip a piece off. I've seen some people take their kneaded eraser. So here we go. It's like pulling taffy, right? It's like pulling taffy. I don't know if you're supposed to do this with these or not, but this is what we're doing. I'm a rebel like that. That's what we're doing on this channel. So now I've got this thing. If you want to lighten what you drew, just roll it over, right? So you can still see the outline of what you want to do, but it's much lighter. What a brilliant idea. I love that. I don't know who came up with that, but they're pretty smart. They're sure smarter than I am anyway, at least in the world of art. Okay, so I've lightened up my ladybug. Next, what I want to do is put in my water droplets. Water droplets, I'm going to do, maybe I'll do 5. So we got our ladybug here. I'm going to put one down here, close to our ladybug. We'll put another one over here. Maybe one here, a bigger one. We're going to get bigger as we move up here. I think we'll just make them bigger. Yeah, there we go. So just a couple of water droplets. It would be better if I did more. Maybe I'll just put another one here. Yeah, let's do that. They're kind of sporadic, and that's okay. We've mapped out what we want to do here. So I have my leaf drawn out. I have my ladybug. What do I want to start with? You know what I want to start with? I want to lighten up those dots. No, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm going to start with doing the outline of the, I am going to erase that a little bit. See, I'm just lightly going over this with my regular eraser. So you can still kind of see the imprint of where we want those water droplets, because those are pretty dark. But I'm going to do their outline in a dark color. I'm not going to do black. I don't want it that dark. I'm going to use a darker green. So let's see what we've got here. Green. And then test paper. Just over here. That's still pretty light. Let's do, how about a dark brown? We'll do a dark brown. Just to very lightly map those out. Just super light. I might go over this with a green at some point. And there we go. So we're mapping out our water droplets. We're going to get them as round as possible, right? A water droplet, it's supposed to be super, super round. Let's see. Can I do a darker green in here? Jade green, yellow green. Okay, and our dark green. We can use this dark green. Use the dark green for the dots. The dots, you know what I'm saying? These things. Droplets. Water drops. Water dots. That's what they are. They're water dots. Okay. And then, now that I am happy with my water dots, I'm going to work on our little ladybug. We're going to work on our ladybug. So we're going to start with the red. So we're going to draw her and turn her around so I can see her better this way. So we're gonna, and sorry about the whatchamacallit, the shadow of my hand, but actually let's do our little black dots first. So we're just lightly coloring in our spots, our ladybug spots, and I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm just gonna do like some light pencil colorings. Hang on, I gotta take a look at this again. Okay. There we go. We got one over here. Shade that in. I don't like the placement as much for those, but that's okay. Really, I think that this one maybe should have been over more, but that's okay. Everyone will get the idea of our ladybug. Of our little ladybug. Hang on, where are we going? Okay, so now we got our round dot here, right in the center. And then we're doing our line down the middle. We'll flare that out a little bit like her wings are ready to open. Okay. And then there we go. Now we're also going to do her little head. I'm going to put in some dots at the top. Sorry, I just got to fill this in so I can see. All right. So I've got a guide. We got her little antenna and the little doodad on the end. I don't even know what those are called. You know, the little doodads. And then, sorry, I know I have to keep picking this up, and it's kind of a pain for you guys, but it's what happens when your eyesight isn't so great. And and we are filling in all of this. There we go. We're going to do her little legs and her toes. I didn't know this. Ladybugs have like these two little toes on each of their feet. Sorry, I gotta fill these in a little better. This is me like I'm holding it up like to my face. That's so funny. So, and 1, 2. Okay. There we go. Now I got a better handle on things, kids. 1, 2 little toes. Yeah, on each of their arms/legs coming out like this. The little hand that I draw. They have like these 2 little toes on each side. Who knew? I didn't know. Who knows that much about ladybugs? Except that they're cute. And I'm not a big fan of bugs, but ladybugs, come on, they're adorable. They really are quite cute. For bugs, you know? Now, I am going to outline with black. Outline our little ladybug. Now, I'll do the white. You can't see the white as much because I'm working on a white piece of paper, but let's see. Oh, I think once you put the red in, people are going to know exactly what this is. They're going to know. That cheese ladybug. Where is it? I was reading up on these, like I was looking for information to do this particular drawing of a ladybug. And I think it's in the UK. They call them ladybirds, which I thought was interesting. Ladybugs are actually part of the beetle family. They're actually a type of a beetle, which I also thought was quite interesting. So I learned all kinds of stuff about ladybugs, ladybirds, beetles in my pursuit of, all things ladybugs. Okay, so ladybug done. Like, did that take any time at all? No. Like, come on, that really was not a lot. And like, all you have to do is keep looking around, and I'm going to link in this video the link to a video that I watched just to kind of give me an idea of how to draw a ladybug, like a pretty simple version. And if you just watch a bunch of videos and look at photos online, I did that too. It'll really help. It really helps understand the anatomy a little bit so that you know where to place stuff, where to draw stuff, and make it look like you actually know what you're doing, that you put some thought into it. Okay, so I have to bring out Mr. Sunshine Eraser here. So I'm going to do this leaf and the water droplets from the perspective that the sun is shining like this. So Buddy's face is coming down like that. Okay. So when I do that, what that's going to give me is a highlight at the top of each water drop. So we're going to put that in now. I'm going to have to turn this a little bit so you'll understand when we get there. So I'm using my green pencil. Okay. I'm using the green one and I'm just mapping out. It can be like a little square rectangle. It could be round. I would avoid making it round because it might look a little too obvious, but like just a little window. And then I start coloring around that and just at the top of each one because I want to fill in the rest of the leaf before I start getting into the rest of the water drops, because the color of the leaf underneath is going to come through and have an impact on what these look like. So, like I said, I'm just putting the top highlight and coloring a little bit around it, just a tiny bit to kind of remind myself where I had put that before I get into the rest of the leaf. Okay, so now you can see that we've got our ladybug, our leaf is kind of mapped out, and we have our water droplets. So what we need to do now, like I said, the color of the leaf is going to come through the water droplets, right? Because it's water, it's transparent. You see what's underneath it. The water just magnifies what is underneath. So you'll see as we complete this what that looks like. I mean, in nature and real life, you're going to know what it looks like if you do an experiment at home. It's quite easy. But to bring that out in art, like on a two-dimensional surface to make it look 3D is a little bit harder. So this is what we're doing today. Now I'm going to move on with the leaf. So we're going to take a mid green. We're going to take my jade green, and I'm using Crayola pencil crayons, by the way. I decided that was what I wanted to do. So we're going to have just one solid line coming through, and I'm going to bring it through the water droplets. Okay. This is our defining line. Okay. That shows the leaf broken into the two halves. All right. So we're just going to do that. Give it some color. And then I'm going to bring in some darker green. And we're just going to start drawing some little, veins from the leaf. Come through our ladybug. And you've all seen this happen with leaves. They have those like squiggly lines, veiny looking things, right? So we're going to add some of those to our leaf too. And there we are. So that's pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy, nothing too dark, nothing too insane, right? We are going to take this dark green and we're going to just shade underneath that line we made in the middle. And the reason why I'm kind of doing it underneath on the bottom is because the light is mostly coming onto the top. I'm making it darker down here because the light is up here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the proper outline of our leaf. We're just going to do this, connecting everything. That's good. We're going to take the eraser. I'll get rid of that line and clean up whatever you want to. There's something there that doesn't look as good maybe, but I don't know. I'm happy with this. It's cute, right? We got our little leaf and our water droplets. We have those veins coming in. And then what we want to do is take a light yellow, and I'm just going to very lightly in the center, closer to the top, going over this, going right through those little bubbles, right? Going through our water droplets. I want to give some of this leaf some yellow highlight. Let's make it a little bit lighter. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of, pick your blobs wherever. I'm leaving down here, not quite as light. We're going to make some brighter spots as we work through the rest of this picture. But just put in a little bit of yellow because we have to layer our colors. So I'm starting with the light color, and then I'm going to bring the next dark color into it, which is going to be our yellowish green. And same thing, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of green coming in here, right? A little bit of green around the edges. Not gonna go over all of that yellow, right? But we're gonna come right down and keep coloring. We're not gonna cover up our little ladybug there. Her legs are black. She's okay. She's all right. And we're gonna make it darker as we get down to the bottom of the leaf. Because like I said, we know where our light source is, right? Our light source is coming in this way. So I'm just keeping more of the shade part of this this project at the bottom, and then of course the underneath of the leaf. And then we'll just make it nice and light up here. So you can see it's just a mix of the orange and the green, right? Now that we've got those two colors, and those are pretty light, right? Those are pretty light. They're pretty tame. I'm going to go back in and go over our squiggles again. I'm just going to keep those defined, these dark squiggles, because you know what? We're going to put in more squiggles. Yeah, that's right. We're going to put in more. Just wait. Just you wait. We're doing all kinds of cool stuff in this drawing. That's right. There we go. Right through that water droplet. Yep, nothing standing in our way. That's right. You heard me. We're doing it. We're making it happen. And then we're going to darken this up a little more. Keep darkening that up. And now I'm going to start down here, darkening in a little bit more. I'm not going to touch that water droplet though, just because, like I said, you want to see a little bit of shadow, right? You want to see a little bit at the bottom. That's why I'm doing that. And now I want to go back to our water droplets because we're now at a critical point. So what we want to do is we want to take our white pencil crayon and fill in that little highlight we created. I'm going to fill that in with the white. And if the white isn't white enough, because we've put a little bit of other color over it, we can come after and use a gel pen to fill in what we want. But the other part that we want to put a highlight on is the bottom of the bubble. The bottom, right down here. Let's see if our white can cover that enough. There we go. We're going to put that there. And then we're going to bring in, right after that, we're coming up with some lighter green to blend in. It's like a yellowy green. And then more of our dark green. We're just going to very gently bring that in, blend that in there. Super light hand, super light touch. Just to show that this dark is blending in with the lighter colors. I'm not mad at that. Okay, yeah. This is good. All right, yeah. There we go. Just a little bit of that darkness. And we can add more. There we go. Darken that up a little bit. Start blending that dark down into the light. You can see it a lot more in the bigger water droplets. But you got to start blending that dark from the outside down into that light green. And you want to try and make that transition as smooth as possible. Let's see. It's not too bad. It's easier to see on the lighter ones. Let's go back with that yellow green and see. There we go. Yeah. Those are looking good. Those are looking good. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's coming together. Coming together. Like I said, it's harder to see on the small ones. But it's not too bad. I think I am going to use a roller ball for the white and the highlights, though. Let's see if I have one in here. What are the chances? No, that would make too much sense. I'm going to have to find one. Where's all my pens? All my pens, my white gel pens. I don't know what I did with them. Man, did you see the tour of my work area? Because it's crazy town. I'm walking around. Oh, I found them. I found them, folks. Found them. Found them. We're going to see. Now this is becoming a mixed media piece. Okay, see? White. Okay, that guy's a fat guy. Is he skinnier? No, don't care. If we just boop, 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 and then just a tiny little highlight at the bottom. Just a little bit of white. And then we're going to add some dark underneath. Oh, super cute. I'm liking this. So now we're going to highlight. We're going to put a shadow underneath here. Yeah, now we're talking. Now he comes together. Yeah. Yep. You know it. Oh, I'm getting happy about this already. I'm so dorky. I love when I'm trying something new that I've never done before, and it actually turns out okay. Is it perfect? No. Is it even good? It's debatable. But you know what? What the heck? We just made ladybug on a leaf. And you know what? We're not even done. There you go. This one looks really good because he's bigger. I should have made them bigger. Although they actually all don't look too bad. Well, that guy's a bit wonky, but okay. Do you see how putting the highlights in and then the shadow underneath the water droplet makes it look a lot more realistic in 3D. This one looks good. That one turned out well. And you know what? These two guys he's good. He's okay. These guys are a bit wonky, but I think part of that is because I did make them so small. But that's okay. I'm still happy with what's going on here. Okay, next, we're going to put some more veins. What color do I want to use? Let's try using this dark or this lime greeny kind of bizarro color. Can you even see that? I don't know. It's just, let's try the yellow green. That might be better. Yeah, this guy's definitely way better. It's so wild. When you look at a leaf, look up close and look at all the things that are going on with all the veins and stuff. It's pretty incredible how they work, how they operate, right? Just the sheer mechanics of it all, right? I mean, you could say that about any living thing, but really think about it. It's a living creature, right? These leaves are living creatures. Okay, not this one because it's something I drew, but you know what I'm saying. Look at this. Does this not bring more realism and life into this leaf? Just these little tiny squiggles, these little tiny veins. Like literally, I wonder if it is their veins. I should look that up someday. Not today because I'm lazy and don't feel like it. But like, is this what transports all the nutrients or fluids or whatever throughout the leaf? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up. Could be. Could be. I've been known to make things up sometimes. That's what happens. I've decided, I have this philosophy in life that once you turn 60, you're allowed to make stuff up. You're allowed to make stuff up whenever you want. I can't wait to be 60. That's going to be fun. Can't wait to make stuff up. Okay, I'm going to add more of this lime kind of green in here. Put a little more over here, a little more over here. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to brighten up our ladybug. We're going to brighten this little girl up. Hang on. Because I want to do like microscope. Oh man, I'm going to mess this up. I better bring this close to my eyeballs. 1, 2. There we go. I brightened up her head a little bit. Okay, is there anything else I'm going to do on that? I don't think so. I think what we're going to do... Oh, wait, maybe I can do it now. I'm adding some more darkness here. I don't know what it is. I just feel the need. I just feel the need. The need for speed. What was that from? Top Gun, I think. Oh, I went too dark over here. But that's okay. All right. Now, adding more. I want some lightness up here. More of that grainy yellow stuff going on. Okay. That's it. I'm not touching this leaf anymore because I'll make a mess of it. I already don't like what I did here, but that's okay. Look at this already. Super cute, right? But we're not done. We're going to do more. We're going to do more. Can we? Yeah, because I have water. Okay. Here we go. Here's what we're going to do. Now that this is really going to become a mixed media piece because hang on. I gotta pick some. Oh, you know what? We're going to use that and this one. Okay, that's nice. Oh, that's a brush from Michael's Artist Loft. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I guess I need some paint. I'm going to get some watercolor paint. Mei Lang, I'm telling you, if you have not got yourself some watercolors yet and you need to do that, this stuff for beginners, no, for anybody, seriously, I love this paint set. As you can tell, it's well loved. It's a hot mess. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if you can see it over there. Let's move some of my junk out of the way. I'm just going to move this over a little bit. I hope this is all still in frame because I can't see what's going on. Okay, here's the thing. We have our leaf and whatnot and our ladybug and we're happy with this, but the background is all blah. It's boring. So we're going to zhuzh it up. We're going to do some stuff, give a background. We're going to put a couple more layers, but I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with green like we're in a forest, okay? So we're going to I already got some green going on here. I have no idea what this looks like, but I also sort of don't care. And we're going to bring this into the background. Okay, we're just going to do that, bring it into the background, pulling in some other color. I don't know what, probably some brown in there. Now I'm going to have to turn this around because as I'm doing the watercolor, I had to be careful that I go along the edge of the leaf and that I do not contaminate because it's not what we want to do. Just along the edge of the leaf. We want to keep that separate. What is this color? We'll find out. Okay. Right along the edge of the leaf. And let's get some of this. I don't know what that is. Some brown, some green. We just got that, foresty, earthy, whatever kind of deal going. Okay, I'm digging it. And once this dries, it's going to look very different too. We're going to bring something different into this. What do we got? I want to get a clean color here. Okay. No, it's too bright. Let's bring in let's see, let's get a little red to tone that down. Oh, that's better. Already that's toned the green. Now I can flip it back around. And this is the magic of that, I think, I call watercolor painting, because when you first put it on, it's like it's a hot mess. It's like a hot mess. It looks terrible, and you're like, man, what is up with those colors? It's just this big blobs and whatever, and then it dries, and you look at it and you go, wow, that's phenomenal. Already, look at like these cool things that are drying over here. And we're going to do something with the background too. So we're going to have to let this dry before we do the next layer, and then we shall proceed. But you know what? I'm liking this already. I'm thinking this is looking pretty cool. I'm digging it. Are we going to do more? Maybe I'll bring in some pens, colored pens, and do the rest. All right, let's let this dry. I was looking at the footage while I took the break to let this dry, the watercolor dry, and I noticed that the kneadable eraser when I was showing it was out of frame. So here it is. So it's basically, well, like that. You can knead it. I pulled off a piece. That's what I was doing before. And I was pulling it into like taffy, right? So like I said, I don't know if it's right or not. You can just use it as an eraser, like a blob like this. But like I was saying before, you could make this into a point and then erase something really specific. Or, like I had done, roll it into a little log and then roll it over what you're working on. So I just wanted to put that in there because, oops, didn't see that in the footage. Okay, so what I've been doing is I was kind of thinking about this, and as I looked at the footage that I shot, there are a lot of things I'm not liking about this, but that's okay, because you know what? We're just having some fun. We're just having some fun with a ladybug and a leaf, and I am going to darken all this up a little bit more. I'm finding that the leaf overall is just looking too yellow. So I'm adding in more green. It's just a light green. It's the jade green. I'm just going to add some in over top of our yellowy looking vibe. Because, yeah, and where I was trying to draw those lines here, kind of jacked up this part. But what are you going to do? What's a girl to do when she messes up her art? Mess it up some more, maybe. I don't know. It could happen. No, it won't. It won't. I am putting it out to the universe that this is going to be a masterpiece. See? There we go. Looking more like a masterpiece already. Okay, so now I was debating like what I should draw in the background. I'm really afraid to screw this up. I just don't want to wreck anything back here. Should I just leave it alone? And I do want to darken up the leaf a little bit more. So what I did was, this is totally a mixed media piece now. Went and found some of my colored pens, my colored gel pens, and I'm just gonna add to this outline. Darken it up a little bit more with my pen, because it feels like it's getting a little bit lost. I don't know why I feel that way. Does that make sense? Like when I say that, it feels like it's getting lost in here. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I did that. And then what else did I want to do? I'm going to get a gray pencil crayon. Is that gray? No, that's green. What is that? Olive. Oh, and you know what else I got? Oh my gosh, I have to show you. It's so much fun. It's going to get loud for a second. Electric pencil sharpener. I was having such a hard time yesterday. Check it out. Oh, yeah. I'm loving it. Okay, so olive green. I'm going to come under here. I want to shade this more. I want to make it look more shaded. And I think if I do this with the olive green, is that going to help? Maybe. A little bit under there too. And it also feels like it's getting lost in here. Like, I don't know, maybe the contrast of the outline of the leaf is too dark. I don't know what it is. Something about it. I'm not loving. Not hating, but I'm not loving. And you know what? Like I said, this is the first time. The first time doing a leaf with a ladybug. I mean, I've drawn leaves before, but not in this much detail. It's not a masterpiece. We understand this. That's what the channel is about. Like, it was more for me to get a feel of what the colored pencils do and how they layer and how they go together, how they work together or don't work together. Oh yeah, I don't need my gray anymore because is this gray? Cool gray. It's cool, man. I will put a little bit under here. A little shading under there. I'll put a little shading under the ladybug too. I don't know that that's going to show up really, but we'll put a little bit there. And her little legs. Oh my gosh, she really is pretty cute. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. So do I want to put like trees or something here in the background? I kind of do. I want to do it in paint though. Should I do it in watercolor? We're gonna do it. We're doing it. It's happening, kids. It's happening, folks. What do we got? We got a nice dark brown. No, it's not that dark. I need a darker brown. It's wetting up my paints. I don't do it the way you're quote unquote supposed to do it. I go rogue. I do my own thing. So let's just do something like that. It's not going to take up the whole page or anything. It's just a suggestion. And then I'm going to water this down even more and put some little ones in the background. A little bit more. A hint of a tree in the background. And then we'll do some more. Yeah, we can do that. There we go. Just to give a little suggestion that there are some trees back there. And maybe we'll just do a dark bit of tree over here. Like this leaf is part of a tree over here. Oh, that's fun. Okay, I'm going to go along there. There we go. I'm going to add in a little bit of gray. Is that my gray? Is that my Payne's gray? Is that black? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll dark it up a little bit. I'm going to test that. It might be a little too dark. Might be a little bit too dark for what I want to do. There, that's better. And then we're going to put some detail on the tree. Just a little bit. Just so it's not so flat looking. And with this guy, we're going to lighten him up though, because the sun's shining over here, be shining on the tree. So we're gonna get a lighter color, and we're gonna, yeah, we'll do that. And we're just gonna lighten that up. It might still be too wet. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm digging that. That's pretty cool. We'll add some more in here. Oh yeah, I'm not mad at these either. Oh yeah, pretty cool. Pretty warm actually. It's a warm yellow that I'm adding into this brown. There we go. Looks a little bit weird and wonky, but you know what? It's all right. What if we have some more trees over here? Maybe we got trees back there. What could I put down here? Put some more trees coming out that way. There we go. Okay. Okay, it's a little bit weird looking, not gonna lie, but I also kind of don't care because, having fun, practicing some stuff. Let's put a little more. Yeah, it's too yellow though. I want more. I want more gray. I want more of a gray, a light color. The yellow's taken over. It's a jaundice tree. It's a jaundice tree. It's sick. It's a sick tree. Needs some medical attention. But ooh, there we go. How's that? How's that? Take that, jaundice. Or jaundice tree. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay, that was kind of fun. Not exactly sure what that's going to look like when it's dry, but hey, whatever. We're just having some fun here. Is there anything else I want to do to this? I don't think so. A little amateur looking. Who cares? This was fun. I had a really fun time playing with this, playing with the different media and putting it together to see what it can do. Working on my little raindrops. Those were fun. And our little ladybug, she was fun too. Like I said, this was just to get a feel for some of the materials that I'm using and see what I think. Here, of course, I'm gonna keep picking at this. It'll be like 3 weeks later and I'll be coming back to this and picking at it. No, I won't. Well, maybe I will. But anyway, there we go. So as I'm doing this, yeah, I hope you found this fun. And I hope you try either doing a leaf or a ladybug or try some water drops or something if you haven't before, because, this is how we learn. Is this good? It's honest art. Like I say, it's honest art. This is honestly how I paint, how I draw. This is it. This is what you get. And this is the first crack at something. So, if I do this again, guess what? Bet it's going to be even better next time. And guess what? Bet it's going to be even better the time after that. And so on and so on. And you know what? I got to say, I'm liking the look of these trees and this background. If that was like blue sky, I could add some green in here. You know what? I'm feeling like an idea of a water painting brewing in my mind with these colors and the layout and stuff. I think I'm going to be doing a forest at some point in time in the near future, but you'll be the first ones to know when I do. All right, we're going to leave it here. So, would love for you to like, share, subscribe, comment. All of those things are free and helps the channel, right? So, and if there's anything you want to see me do, test, try, or whatever, you got any questions, put your comments down there. I love hearing from people and I love interacting. So thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, look, there's some other video doodads around here somewhere and stuff in the description box. So you can keep watching and keep learning. All right, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.